you seem very emotional, and I threw you a tissue just in case. I also have a tampon in case you need a tampon.
Adam, she's gonna beat the shit out of you.
That's fine.
Adam,
that's fine. It's a tampon just in case you start crying.
Including the actual
you're actually saying that none of our
America First crowd that does not want this war.
Have their own say,
they don't want this war. The left doesn't want this war. Actually, this is the one issue where it seems like there's some unity. With contingents
the gays
on
for
both
Gaza
sides.
And the isolationists have teamed up.
I'm saying, the slaughter of all those innocent kids in Gaza, and our government provides cover for it, and in fact funds it, that leads to a lot of rage among hardworking Americans who see their quality of life go down the drain as we're funding a genocide.
Kids being killed.
Can we bottom?
And I would love to see Hamas leave.
Right, it's not about Hamas. Let's
Can we talk about if
Adam,
Hamas would, in all fairness, listen, I agree with you. I agree with you. The other side, though, because there are two sides, why didn't Hamas just give the friggin' hostages back? Then there'd be no excuse for
I agree.
this.
Hamas should have given the hostages back, 100%. But let's also acknowledge, when there is a siege on Gaza, when there are Israeli and American, by the way, hostages being held captive by Hamas, they're not just starving those poor Palestinian civilians, they're also starving their own hostages. Let's also not forget about the fact that the IDF shot and killed 3 Israeli hostages themselves. They didn't ask any questions, immediately started firing, killed 3 people. We need to actually have an honest conversation. Well, I mean, they didn't ask any questions. They were literally shirtless, waving white flags, saying, we need help, we need help. They got shot and killed immediately. The IDF is super belligerent in how they're carrying out this war. They're killing a lot of innocent people. In the case that I'm outlining, I'm talking about 3 Israeli hostages. If you're not willing to be critical of Israel, I question how honest you're being about this whole situation.
I'm critical of Israel just like I'm critical of America.
Can we
Lindy,
hold on.
If America makes mistakes, I'll call them out. But I'm very pro-America. But we do make mistakes. If Israel makes mistakes, I'll call them out. But I'm very pro-Israel. I don't understand what you're doing when you're trying to be pro-Hamas and pro-Iran. Hold on.
When you strawman me, it makes this entire exchange fall apart.
So
I'm trying to have an honest exchange with you. I'm not putting words in your mouth. Please don't put words in my mouth.
You can talk when I'm done talking, and that's how this will work. No?
But if you strawman me, and argue that I'm making arguments that I didn't make, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you if you lie about what I'm saying.
So you're a grown-up when you argue. Got it.
I am a grown-up, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you seem very emotional, and I threw you a tissue just in case. I also have a tampon in case you need a tampon.
Adam, she's gonna beat the shit out of you.
That's fine. That's fine. It's a tampon just in case you start crying.
Yo, that's so disrespectful, and that's just, how's that okay? Who thought, how did he think that was gonna be funny? I mean, he's going on an all-girl podcast, like, does he think that's trolling? I'm genuinely shocked by this. Wow, what an a-hole.
I'm not deterred by your ridiculous juvenile attacks. Let's have an argument about the actual facts.
Israel is fighting terrorists around the world, and in this one particular situation, why isn't Israel doing genocide in Lebanon? Why aren't they doing it in Syria? Why aren't they doing it everywhere else? Why is it only in Gaza? By the way, why is Gaza
because they want to clear Palestinians out of that land and take it. That's why.
You don't know.
All right, so then let's end it here.
The Iranian Revolution started in 1979.
Let's end it here. Let me just say one more thing. Let me say one more thing.
Because
we play that clip.
When we inevitably get dragged into this war, when we inevitably end up spending tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions, if not $1 trillion, depending on how long that war with Iran lasts, will you guys come back on this show and at least admit I was right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Conversely, though, if it ends within 6 months, and Iran is defanged in the Abraham Accord, this is a pipe dream, I get it. But if it ends within 6 months, Iran is defanged. I don't know if there'll be a regime change. I have no idea. I haven't heard talk of that yet. Obviously, I know that we wouldn't be hearing that because nobody is for that. In fact, Trump denied involvement because it's so friggin' unpopular. I get it. But if in 6 months this is resolved, it's like Soleimani, it came, it went, Iran is defanged, and the Abraham Accords are expanded, will you admit that?
Yeah, of course.
Because what I'm saying is that Trump is not going to allow himself to be dragged in. I just don't think it's a possibility.
You have way too much. Look, I don't have that much faith in any politician.
I'm not saying, you know that I'm not MAGA. What I'm saying is he ran on America first. He ran on isolation.
But guys, I just want you to remember one thing, because you brought up Yemen. I'm so happy you brought up Yemen, Adam. Thank you for doing that, okay? Because the United States assisted Saudi Arabia in fighting the Houthi rebels in Yemen.
Yeah.
Who are, of course, backed by Iran.
Yeah.
Now, did we beat the Houthis in Yemen?
It's still going.
It's still going. So I bring that up because if anyone is under the assumption that a regime change war in Iran is going to be a cakewalk, they have another thing coming.
Okay, but Trump
who said
bankrupted them,
Who said
and it
cakewalk?
made a huge difference.
It's going to be a massive endeavor.
He choked them out financially.
Which means that the U.S. is going to get dragged into that war, Adam. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, so what you're arguing is a hypothetical, and I hear you on that. Nobody wants the United States to get involved in more wars. I'm with you on that.
Agree.
But you're arguing a hypothetical as if it's fact.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I had with you. It's like, we can't have this, we can't want this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but it's not happening right now.
And it did
so let's argue what's happening.
Literally, that whole argument can go for Iran and their nuclear weapons. Literally, there's no proof that Iran has nuclear weapons, and they're arguing it like it's a matter of fact it's about to happen. And like Anna mentioned, Benjamin Netanyahu has been arguing that for 30 years.
So that's not happening the first time. Doesn't happen, right?
But
like
Lindy's bringing up probably the most important point because we're so fixated on Israel. Lindy's talking about the Islamization of European Christian cities.
Yeah, do you know why that's happening? Because of refugee crises, due to wars that destabilize these Muslim-majority countries.
I think it's intentional.
Like the Syrian civil war.
Yes.
Like a Yemeni civil war.
Like the Libyan war, regime change war.
I don't think it's just
As if we've never funded a civil war. Come on, Adam. You sound so stupid.
I don't think it's just a humanitarian crisis. I think
more
there's an
than that.
intentional
It's a fundamental ideology.
to destroy Western. They say that. It's a campaign to destroy Western civilization.
When Western civilization destabilizes your home, your country, that leads to a lot of rage, and I can understand why. If some other country invaded us, destabilized the United States of America, believe me, I'd be out on the streets chanting death to whatever country as well.